Hello everyone, my name's John. 2014 is almost over now, and what I'd like to do now is kind of go over the top 10 mods, my personal top 10 mods for Don't Starve for 2014. I did a similar thing last year. I did the top 10 mods for 2013, and I want to do it again now. So like I said, these are my personal top 10 mods. There's also going to be a community choice one where people have voted on their favourite mod for 2014. So let's hop right into it. And number 10 is the Smarter Crockpot mod by JaRDev. This mod came out on the workshop on January 29th, so right at the beginning of the year. It was one of the first ones I did. And basically what it did is it would show you what you were going to make in the crockpot. If you put in, say, 2 meats, 1 monster meat, and 1 morsel, you could click a button that says predict, and it would predict there's a 100% chance that you're going to make a meaty stew. This was a really useful mod for me. I used it a lot because I would often forget how to make a lot of recipes. So it's quite a simple mod, but I found it very useful, and it was definitely one of my favorite mods that I saw this year. 4 meat in there. Click predict, 100% chance of making a meaty stew. And number 9 is the RPG mod by JaRDev. When I covered this, it was just called the Level Ups mod. It was a very simple mod when I first did it, but over the year it has changed a lot. It was first uploaded to the Steam Workshop on March 14th, and at that point, as the Level Ups mod, what would happen is you would kill monsters and they would drop XP tokens, and you could use these to increase your stats like your health. However, this mod has gone through a lot of changes. It now has different classes, so you can be things like a chemist or a witch. You can receive quests from pigs, and they will reward you with things like hats or gems. It's one of the most expansive mods I've seen, and it's currently in version 2.4. So you can see it right there, XP token. And number 8 is the character mod Golem by Mr. Hastings and Kuloslav. Now I was a big fan of this one. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, so it was really nice to see a really well done Lord of the Rings mod in Don't Starve. Golem was posted on the workshop on September 11th, 2014, and Golem even came with the 1 ring to rule them all, and he could go invisible and attack spiders and stuff while invisible. One of the best parts about the mod is the character's strings. A lot of his comments have stuff to do with the Tolkien universe. So if you are a J.R.R. Tolkien fan, this is a great mod to have. Because Golem is so dependent on the ring, he actually cannot drop it. When I was planning out my top 10 mods, I knew I had to choose something by Desplat. Problem was I wasn't entirely sure which mod to go for. Desplat uploaded some great mods that were all part of the Realism mod pack. I knew I couldn't have all 4, so I eventually chose Hallucinations as my favourite mod by Desplat. Hallucinations made it so that if you were starting to go a bit insane, you'd see things kind of pop up, especially around dusk and during the night. You could see a big tree next to you, and in the morning the sun would rise, you'd walk over to the tree, and it would just disappear, like it wasn't there. Hallucinations also added a dark clone, which would come and attack you if your sandy got too low, and it was an exact copy of yourself, even coming with your own equipment. So if you had a great weapon, your dark clone would come at you with that weapon and probably kill you. Yeah, so during the day he doesn't try to kill us, he just kind of hangs around you, but at night he will try to kill you. At number 6 we have the Friendly Slurpers mod by Ghost9610. The mod was originally posted on March 13th and basically allowed the player to craft their own slurper. The slurpers were called Licking, and when I first covered it, it just had the original Licking, who was a bit like Chester, and you could store things in him, and he would also give off a glow, which was very useful. Over time it was updated and added 2 more Lickings. There was an Ice Licking and an Epic Licking. Ooh. And it was just a really fun mod, and it was great to have another companion like Chester to follow you around in the game. So he's basically a little Chester. He rolls around, he licks you. At number 5 we have the Nightmares tab by Fadoop and Friends. The Nightmares tab added a whole new tab to the game, as well as a bunch more craftables, and it also moved a lot of the the Nightmare related stuff from their original tabs into the Nightmares tab, such as the Nightmare Fuel and Shadow Manipulator. It also added whole Nightmare tools, as well as Nightmare armor, and added in a couple extra shadow monsters, just to make going insane that much more terrifying. There were 6 new monsters, and they were all pretty crazy. There's the Wicked Warlock. I'm sure they'll show up a bit clearer eventually. At number 4, we have the Can't Live Forever mod by Farnsworth. Now, this mod seemed to try and make Don't Starve a bit more like Dark Souls. It basically buffed a lot of the creatures around you the longer that you survived, so it made killing spiders and stuff a lot harder. And my favourite part of the mod was it would introduce random attacks from various creatures as time went on. I think it was around every 5 days or something. Just a random horde of creatures would come and attack you. It could be anything. Sometimes it was like basilisks and stuff above ground. This was a great mod, and it was definitely a good mod for anybody looking for a challenge. And it infamously ended one of my series on the 3rd episode because I was assaulted by various things on the 5th day. That was fun. Basically, these will kill me in one hit right now, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, they didn't quite, but I am dead anyway. Coming in at number 3 is Warfarin the Sticky Fingered by Mr. Tiddles. I originally covered Warfarin back in April of this year. I was very kindly given an early access copy of the mod by Mr. Tiddles. When I was thinking of my top 10 mods for the year, I knew that I would have to have one by Mr. Tiddles, because Mr. Tiddles makes amazing mods. I was thinking about including Old William Daniger, but the thing about Warfarin was the character was so simple compared to Old William Daniger, and was a lot more accessible, so I ultimately chose Warfarin as my favourite mod by Mr. Tiddles of the year. Warfarin recently got a big update called the Super Sneaks update, which introduced a very cool mechanic allowing Warfarin to roll around. The mod also introduced a stealth meter, and what you can do is you can use this to kind of roll from cover to cover. At number 2 we have Satori the Mind Reader by Shia and Terry. This was released on the 22nd of March, and it introduced a new character called Satori based on the character from Touhou Project. I'm not familiar with the Touhou Project, but I still really like the character. My favourite part of the character is that she is able to tame pets, so she can have a bunch of rabbits following her, or she can tame beefaloes, and she's also able to read the thoughts of any creatures around her. So if we examine my pet beefalo, its loyalty to me is astounding. And finally, my personal favourite mod of 2014 is Tiny Alchemy Powers by Kuloslav. It was originally posted back in February, and it is now called Tiny Alchemy Powers Synthesis. This is one of the biggest mods I've ever seen for Don't Starve. It overhauled a lot of the systems completely. It introduced alchemy. You could transmogrify all kinds of things. It also added a terrifying new biome in the ruins called the Tech biome, and it introduced new weapons and new armor, like the bone armor and skull helmet, which looked really cool. It's a huge overhaul for Don't Starve, and I'd certainly recommend it to anyone looking for a bit more of a challenging experience in Don't Starve. Does that just give you a bit of food? There we go, protein bar. So there you have it, my personal list of top 10 mods for Don't Starve in 2014. I've had a blast looking at all these mods throughout 2014. I reviewed over 100 mods this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone's going to make for 2015. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next year. Bye!